fast forward to last year. My Netflix special, Baby Cobra, premiered Mother's Day weekend. And it was crazy. Nothing like that had ever happened to me before. All of a sudden, scalpers were charging up to $1,000 a ticket to see me headline live. Over 300 people dressed up as me while I was pregnant in that striped dress for Halloween. And I was so happy. Until I realized that I have no interest in being famous. I don't. All I ever wanted was more money for less effort. I just want to collect checks in my pajamas. Play a piece of tofu in a Pixar movie or something. Yeah, come on, you see it. You know, the tofu got glasses, a lot of attitude. Sing some song about the joy of soy with Justin Timberlake. And my arch nemesis can be a piece of beef played by Idris Elba, named Stringer Beef or something. I'm not even that famous, and already I hate it. I hate it so much. It's a burden. Occasionally now, I will be eating at a fancy restaurant and will get recognized by both the waitstaff and the chef and think to myself, oh, great. Now I have to tip more. People are always very surprised at how offstage with my husband, I'm a completely different person. You would not recognize my personality at all with him. With him, I'm very soft and very nurturing and very domestic. We've been together now for 5 years. And for 5 years, I've packed his lunch every single day. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. I did that so that he'd become dependent on me. Because he graduated from Harvard Business School, and I don't want to work anymore. I straight up don't want to work anymore. I don't feed him out of the goodness of my heart. I do it as an investment in my financial future. Because I don't want to work anymore. I've been reading that book by Sheryl Sandberg. She's the COO of Facebook. And she wrote that book that got women all riled up about our careers, talking about how we as women should challenge ourselves to sit at the table and rise to the top. And her book is called Lean In. Well, I don't wanna lean in, okay? I wanna lie down. I want you to lie the fuck down. I think feminism is the worst thing that ever happened to women. Our job used to be no job. We had it so good. We could have done the smart thing, which would have been to continue playing dumb for the next century and be like, we're dumb women. We don't know how to do anything. So I guess we better just stay at home all day and eat snacks and watch Ellen. Because we're too stupid to have any real responsibility. And then all these women had to show off and be like, we could do it. We could do anything. Bitch, shut up. Don't tell them the secrets. They ruined it for us. And now we're expected to work. When I hear the phrase double income household, I want to throw up. A lot of my friends, when we walk around together, they'll get very judgmental about housewives that we'll see on the street. And they'll be like, look at that fucking housewife not doing anything. Look at that housewife just walking around all day, getting massages in her Lululemon pants. I'm like, that bitch is a genius. She's not a housewife, she's retired. I joined a mom's group in Los Angeles. Yeah, I don't find any of these bitches particularly interesting or fun. But when you're a new mom on maternity leave, it's like The Walking Dead. You just gotta hook up with a crew to survive. I used to hate on other moms for the clothes that they wore. You know, these fucking clothes that moms wear, all that cheesy ass animal print and loud, metallic, shiny shoes. And now I see something that's bedazzled in rhinestones, and I'm like, oh, that looks nice. I think I'm gonna get that. The more glitter, the better. Because when you're a mom, you need sparkle to compensate for the light inside of you that has died. I found out that my progesterone levels were alarmingly low. So then I had to take these hormone pills that were suppositories and push pop them up myself every single night. And then at my writing job at Fresh Off the Boat, I would be storyboarding in front of my coworkers, and then at some point the pill would inevitably dissolve and melt into my underwear, and I had to act like everything was okay when everything was clearly not okay. And then a side effect of the progesterone was that it made me extremely itchy. So then I had to find ways to discreetly scratch myself underneath the conference table and then resist the urge to immediately smell my fingers afterwards. I want to be able to smell my fingers when I want to smell my own goddamn fingers. Housewives, they can just scratch and sniff all day long. They just vacuum, scratch, sniff, they make a sandwich. They watch Property Brothers, scratch. What's cracking? Every time you scratch yourself, all you can think about is, when can I smell my fingers? When can I smell my fingers? When can I discreetly find a way to smell my fingers? Nature made you urgently curious to protect you, because you gotta check that it's all good in the hood. If it's too funky, you need to see a doctor. Your fingers are your first WebMD. Housewives, they don't gotta shit in an office. Housewives get to shit in their house, skin to seat. They don't gotta use that horrible toilet paper cover. They don't gotta 10 times a day, every day. Like you're about to eat a sad-ass meal. They don't gotta do that. They don't gotta use that one-ply toilet paper, that office toilet paper that they purposely make difficult to pull out. They're trying to ration me with their communist toilet paper. That's not even effective. It basically just dehydrates your butthole. It's basically like wiping your butt with the desert. I literally spat on my toilet paper 2 days ago to try to make a MacGyver baby wipe to moisten it, and then it backfired because my fingers broke through and digitally stimulated more doo-doo to come out, and then I had to start all over again. And you can never finish wiping at work because you always feel rushed, because you're paranoid that your coworker's gonna recognize your shoes underneath the stall, and you're like, oh no, Courtney's listening, she's waiting, she's timing me, and then you hurry, and then you never finish wiping, and then your butthole feels caked in doo-doo all day long, and then if you dare scratch yourself, your underwear at the end of the day looks like it's been run over by the Goonies. Housewives, they don't gotta muffle their shit too. They don't gotta worry about the velocity with which their doo-doo comes out. They don't gotta try to, squeeze the butt cheeks together to make sure that the doo-doo comes out at a slow and steady pace so that no unpredictable noise suddenly escapes and brings you deep, deep shame. Housewives are free to just blow ass into the toilet and let it echo and reverberate to the ends of their hallways while watching as much Netflix on their iPad as they want. They don't gotta take these boring, repressed shits. They can listen to podcasts, Planet Money. They could do whatever they want. I tried being a stay-at-home mom for 8 weeks. I like the stay-at-home part. Not too crazy about the mom aspect. That shit is relentless. I was stupid and naive, and I thought that being a stay-at-home mom was about chillaxing, getting to shit in your own home, watch Wendy Williams, and go out to brunch with your sassy girlfriends. I did not understand that the whole price you have to pay for staying at home is that you gotta be a mom. Oh, and that's a job. It's a whack-ass job. You get no 401k, no coworkers, you're just in solitary confinement all day long with this human Tamagotchi that don't got no reset button, so the stakes are extremely high. I can already see how there's like this crazy double standard in our society of how it takes so little to be considered a great dad. And it also takes so little to be considered a shitty mom. People praise my husband for coming to all of my doctor's appointments with me. Oh my God, I can't believe he comes to all your doctor's appointments. He is so supportive. Guess who else has to go to those doctor appointments? Me. I'm the star of the show. There's nothing for the camera to see if I'm not there. But he's the hero for playing Candy Crush while I get my blood drawn. Meanwhile, if I do mushrooms 7 months pregnant, I'm a bad mommy. Nobody, no one could have predicted this outcome. So much so that before we got married, his family made me sign a prenup. It's true. And now, if we get divorced, their son is fucked. No more sashimi on a Tuesday. No more fancy Japanese toilet bidet where water comes out and Hello Kitty sings a song until your butthole's fresh and clean. Go back to drinking flat water, bitch! A lot of people like to ask me, Allie, how on earth do you balance family and career? Men never get asked that question because they don't. They just neglect the child for like 90% of the day, and that's perfectly socially acceptable. But the standards for dads are so low that they get so much praise for doing so little. My husband occasionally changes diapers, and when people hear that, oh my God, confetti everywhere! I cannot believe that your husband changes diapers. What a doting modern father. Lucky you! When my baby girl was first born, I would do skin-on-skin contact every day to bond with her. She shit on my chest. Where's my confetti at?